Okay, Katie. Thank you very much.
Azim, why you record so fast? I'm still on the way to office. At first, I want to say I cannot type. Now, kantoi already, lor.
It's okay, Li Jing. It's me who record because Hazim's asked me to
Malaysia,
record.
don't me.
It's okay, it's okay. I'm famous with late to office.
Where are
It's
you?
all right.
Where are you
It's
now?
all right.
Still on the way. LDP, Lambat dan Perlahan, the infamous highway in
It's Friday. It's Friday. We understand.
Every day also jam lah kan. LDP bah.
I thought you want to buy. I thought you want to buy bike, right? Buy bike lah, easier, faster.
I wish to, as a golongan, middle lower income citizen, I'm still looking for a good second-hand bike.
Yo, bro, got bike is less than 1,000 one.
know,
You too choosy, like too choosy.
As a typical Asian, today that's why I want to learn something about decision making.
Oh, that's
I
good.
want,
Yeah, that's
I
good.
want cheap. I want good quality. I want Plaza one.
Yeah, yeah. No
Tiba-tiba
wonder, no
Dr.
wonder.
Alicia buta-buta kena.
This is just a sharing session lah, okay? Maybe you have a better idea, then we can share, right, Li Jing?
If I'm better, I become trainer already.
Oh, maybe you have the tendency, we will see. Just call me Alicia will do lah, Li Jing. No need doctor.
I just follow the email. Some got what TS doctor what very long one. Must follow protocol one.
Aiyo, but now since you know me lah, so you just can call me Alicia lah.
Okay, can.
Okay, drive safe, yeah, Li Jing.
Okay.
So good morning, Alicia.
Hello, how can I address you?
My name's KK Sin from Hong Kong.
KK, hello. Nice to meet you and thank you for joining our session this morning. Yeah, we are still waiting for some of the participants to join, so we will start like maybe
let's wait. Okay.
Yeah, in a minute's time. Thank you for your time.
Come on. Hoa緊會。都唔緊要，你開始。
All right, it's 9:10 now, so I would start our session this morning. So hello everyone. So good morning, and I'm Alicia. So I'm from Glenmarie campus here in Malaysia. So a little bit about myself is that I'm a lecturer. All right, so my focus is actually mainly on personal and professional development. Here for Glenmarie campus, I'm in in general in UOW Malaysia, since we have like colleagues from Hong Kong. So thank you for joining us today, and nice to meet all of you. So today, yep, it's much more like a sharing session with all of you on choosing how to make a good decision. All right. So just let me share with you what's the agenda for today. So I will share with you about what are the challenges and what are the factors, all right, that can prevent us from making decision and also effective decision making. And also what are the strategies and tools that we can use in making decision, all right? So for this session, there will be some of individual as well as a group activities. So it will be great if everyone can join, all right, and take part in this activity to make it like more fun, all right? So before we start, I would like to show you a video, all right, just to warm up the session, all right? So if you cannot hear or, listen to the video, just let me know, yeah?
I think the floral one looks nicer on you, babe.
Yeah, I thought so too. You know what? Why don't we play a game? Since you're so good at deciding things.
Oh, okay. What game?
Well, if I ask you,
Uh-huh.
should I go on a diet or should I exercise? What would you choose?
A diet.
Oh, so now you think I eat too much?
No, exercise.
Oh, so now you think I'm fat and I need to run, huh?
No.
Hello? So what would you choose?
Not to play this game.
Nice try. But really, do you think I need to go on a diet? Or do you think I need to exercise?
Well, between food and exercise, which do you like, dear?
Well, I do like my desserts. But I also look forward to yoga classes. So I guess I'll exercise. Hey!
Exercise it is.
Okay, that didn't count.
What do you mean it didn't count? Of course it counted.
Alright. So, what do you want to eat? Japanese or Italian?
Well, how's Japanese?
We had that last week.
I guess Italian then?
But Italian is so...
Alright. Not Italian then.
But I miss pasta.
Well, I guess that settles it, doesn't it?
Let's have some spaghetti.
Let's have some spaghetti then.
Okay. Wait.
Hello?
Hey Ming, it's Jane.
Oh, hey Jane.
I'm in the area. You wanna hang?
Oh, you want to hang out tonight?
But if you're busy, it's okay.
No. I'm not doing any. I have to call you back.
I guess you should go and see her. It's been quite some time, right?
Well, I guess. Oh, that's not fair.
You know, it's not that I'm jealous or anything.
I'm glad.
Maybe I love you
Oh no, come on.
and I love spending time with you.
Oh, hey. Okay, you know what? There are many tough things in life, and choices are one of them.
I guess.
You might think it's easy for me as a guy to make those choices, but
Okay.
it might be clothes or food or exercise, guys or girls. The reason why it's so easy to make choices is because my choice is always you.
Aww.
You are my best choice in life. And you should know that.
Honey. Babe,
Yes, dear.
can I ask you something?
Of course you can.
If you had to save a life, would it be me? Or your mom?
It's nice seeing you again.
Oh, it's nice seeing you too.
You know, I thought I won't be seeing you already.
Well, it was a tough choice.
Hi, do you guys want to order any food?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Then you the man, you choose ah.
You choose that, 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 you choose that.
Exercise.
All right. Okay, I hope I didn't bore you, that you actually did enjoy this video. So in our life, yeah, maybe this actually looks very familiar with you. I mean, let's put apart, relationship, because this is a video that I just want to share with you about, like, we make choices like every day, all right? No matter it's small or big, we have to make decision, and how can we make a better decision? All right, I think that's why you are here today. All right, so let me just continue. All right, so yep, let's try and do some exercise now. All right, and test on your decision making skills. Yeah, so the first question from me would be, where would you like to go for lunch later on? Yeah, do you want to go to Mama? All right, so for Hong Kong colleagues, so Mama is like a kind of place that we usually hang out. All right, so it's usually operated by Indian or Indian Muslim. All right, so we have like a kind of a flatbread known as roti canai over there, and we also have like brajas, also known as like teh tarik. All right, so these are some of the Malaysian delicacies that you can find in Mama. Or food court or hawker center, Domino's for fast food, or Texas chicken. All right, so here are the choices. So where would you like to go for lunch? All right, so for this, I would like you to scan this QR code. All right, and you can make your choice. Just a second. All right, yep, so this is it. You can scan this QR code, right? And then you will make your choice. Where would you like to go for lunch later? Yeah, would you like to go for lunch at the food court, or would you like to go for Domino's or for Texas chicken? Okay, so we have our first participant's answer. All right. Maybe I would also put the link at the chat box. All right, okay, just a second. All right.
Alicia,
Yes.
I didn't know how to choose because I didn't know the places.
All right, no worries, no worries. I'm going to send you the link at the chat box, so you can just click on it, and then it will prompt you to a website where you can just select the choice. Yeah. All right, we just wait a little bit more. All right. So we have one participant over here that actually choose a fast food on Texas chicken. Or maybe the choices that I put here is none of your choice that you would like to go for lunch. All right, KK, got you. All right, so food court it is. All right. So majority of you will like to go to food court, all right? So do remember about like how fast you actually make this decision, okay? All right. So my next question would be, where would you like to go for your next holiday abroad? All right, so that's like Cuba, Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Ghana, Tunisia, okay, and so on and so forth, all right? So now, all right, you also can scan this QR code, all right, and then you can choose, all right? So where would you like to go for your next holiday abroad? Among the choices that I have given to you, all right? So there's like Cuba, Czech Republic, Ghana, Tunisia, Uzbekistan, Bolivia, Uruguay, Kazakhstan, Mauritius, Fiji, and Tanzania. Yep. Oh, wow. That's quick. Bolivia it is. All right, Kiki mentioned Czech Republic, all right. Fiji, all right. Wow, Uzbekistan. So anyone would still like to cast a vote? I'll give you another 1 minute. All right, thanks for your vote and your participation. All right, so let's get to the last question, okay? But before that, let's just get into some fun facts about those countries that I've mentioned before. So over here, if you look at my cursor, yeah, so here is Cuba and here is Uruguay. Bolivia is over here, so I guess there's participants who would like to go to Bolivia, so it's next to Brazil. And also Czech Republic, all right, so it's below Poland. So I actually did my PhD in Poland like years back, all right. And over here there's like Bulgaria over here, the red color one, and Tunisia is over here near to Libya and Algeria. Tanzania is over here, and Mauritius is actually next to Madagascar. So this is a place where it's famous for dodo, all right. So not to mistakenly with the dodo here in Malaysia, we have a Malaysian delicacy also known as dodo, all right? So it's a Malay traditional dessert, okay? So dodo is a extinct flightless bird, all right? Was once very famous over here at the Mauritius over here. And Kazakhstan is over here, Uzbekistan is over here below Kazakhstan, and Fiji is actually next to Australia, all right? Sorry that I couldn't show it in the map, all right? Just some fun facts, okay? So here are the countries, yeah? All right. And my very last question, all right? So what would you do, okay, if you were stranded at sea in a small inflatable raft or stuck in the mountains with a broken leg? What do you suppose you would do, all right? So for this one, I may need some writing from you, okay? So you can just put like sea and then what you're going to do, and then mountain and then what you're going to do, all right? So let's stretch some of your brain cells, all right? and to think if you were stranded at sea or the mountain, okay, what are you going to do? All right. So you can scan this QR code. All right. If you can't, then you can put it at the chat box, then I can read as well. All right. No worries about that. Just something simple will do, all right? Or something that you think what you will be doing if you were to be stranded at sea or if you were to stuck in the mountain, what will you do? Okay? Calling for help. All right, but if you were to be in a sea, okay. All right, so calling for help, all right. Any more? So maybe we can be more specific, like how are you going to call for help? All right, if you were to be in a sea or in a mountain where it's just you alone, all right? Yeah, you can still like type in your answer. Yeah, let's just have a relaxed, chill session today. Yeah. Important to maintain a positive mindset. Okay, but still take time, but staying hopeful is crucial for survival. Yeah, I do agree with that. Looking around and be calm and think first. All right. Check the battery of your phone. Wow, okay, but I wonder if your phone would actually work. All right, especially if there's no coverage in the mountain. All right. Oh, at the sea. Anyone would like to call for help? Okay, all right. So just to share with you, not my own experience, yeah, but my friend, all right, my Polish friend. So as I mentioned, I study in Poland for my PhD before. So my friend, she's actually a mountain rescuer, right? So usually like during like summer or autumn, all right, there's usually quite a number of hikers. And one of these ladies, she actually got stuck in the mountain because she took the wrong trail or wrong path. So what she did actually is well, coincidentally, she was wearing a red bra that day. Just a second, I'm just editing. Yeah. So she was actually wearing a red bra, and she took off her bra and she waved. All right. So this is how the mountain rescuer actually managed to locate her from when they are taking the helicopter. All right. So this is one of the way. All right. Just in case touch wood. All right. If you were to be stuck in the mountain. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much for putting your thoughts and ideas. All right. So what we can see that, or maybe you yourself, all right, from making decision, all right, to choose what to eat for lunch, to like where you would like to travel, and lastly, all right, if it's a life-threatening situation, okay. So we can see that to make a choice for lunch is quite easy, all right, maybe for some of us. And when we want to choose a place to go abroad, maybe we will take a longer time because there's like so many choices that have been given you. And lastly, it's kind of hard, all right? Of course, if we were to be in the kind of situation where we are stranded, all right, in the mountain or in the sea, okay? So just to recap and to make a conclusion, all right, on the questions that you have answered is that the lower the risk it is, the easier, all right, we can make the decision because it do like less harm for us, all right. But if something is related with high risk, all right, we usually take a longer time, all right. If you can see that when you want to think about what to do, all right, then you definitely will take a longer time rather than, as compared to just to choose a place for lunch, all right. So what is decision making? All right. So when we talk about to make a decision, is that we are choosing, all right, between the option of two or more, okay, and it's usually part of problem solving, okay. So what do we mean by problem solving is that we have some solutions, all right, that we need to solve a problem and we need to decide what is the best for us. And usually the more complex the decision that you have to make, the more factors that you have to consider, all right. So why is it so hard to make decision? Okay, so here are some of the secret psychological factors that actually preventing you, okay, in making decision. So first of all, it's about this status quo bias, all right. So it's our tendency to stick what we know, or in other words, we just like to stay in our comfort zone. All right, just for example, like even though you may get like an offer letter to get a better job, but when you think about like, oh my gosh, I need to like adapt to a new environment, and then I have to know the colleagues in a new way, so you might think like, oh my gosh, this is like such a hassle, all right. So you try to persuade yourself back that, yeah, probably it's just better to stay whatever I am now, okay. So usually we just do not want to take the risk or any hassle, then we just resist to change, all right. So this is also one of the things that why is it hard for us to make a decision. Next is about anchoring bias, all right. So this is usually what the marketing people or the retailers been doing, all right. So we rely too heavily on the first thing we hear, okay. So if you were to go into a store, all right, or maybe online shopping, you will actually see something that is on sales and something that is not, all right. If you look at the picture on the mug, all right, when you look at the first mug, $300, you might feel like, oh my gosh, a mug costs like $300. That's like so expensive, right? But when you move on to the next item, all right, then you see like another mug, okay, and they just cross out, okay, $1,000 now is on sales, it's only costing like $300, probably, and generally most people will actually get the mug that is cost like $300, all right. So this is an anchoring effect, or the little trick that the marketing people actually are playing on you, all right. And another example that I would give, like when you are doing your grocery shopping, yeah. So probably like if you look at those frozen yogurt, some they will put like 20% fat and 80% fat free. To be honest, both are actually the same thing, but you will get like 80% fat because the percentage is like high and it's like, oh, fat free, right? So this is how it actually prevents us from making a better decision. The next in line, all right, that actually affect us from making better decision is on choice overload, all right. So if you look at picture A and picture B, if you can see on my screen right now. So picture A is actually an experiment that they have conducted, okay, on a group of participants. So for group A, all right, so participants have only like 6 jars of jam to choose from, while as for picture B, all right, participants have a choice of 24, okay. You may think that like, yeah, the more choice, probably like people will like it, all right, because you have like wider choices that you can choose from. But in fact, from the results of this research is that the lesser choice that you will be given, the higher chances, all right, you'll be able to make a decision, all right, to buy the jam, rather than like, as you can see at picture B, that only one person, okay, out of so many participants that actually managed to get a jam, all right. So why this happen, okay, is because when there's too many choices, right, which in the end you will choose not to choose because there's too many. I'm not sure which one is the best for me, right? So in the end, I just feel like, yeah, I just do not want to choose and I just walk away, all right? And the second reason would be about the decision quality, all right? Usually when there are more choices, we tend to make more errors and also a less consistent decision. And lastly, about the satisfaction, all right? Sometimes when there's too many choices, okay, finally you manage to choose one of those jams, okay? I'm just giving an example back at the jam example. We might feel like, oh, I should have choose like the apple jam, sorry, instead of the peach jam, all right? So you may feel less satisfied and you feel like there's always a better choice out there, okay? So a lot of choice isn't like a better idea, okay? And the main causes of this choice overload, all right, is because of this indistinguishable option that's available in the market, all right? Just take an example of like Coke, all right, Coca-Cola. We have like diet-free, and also like zero Coke, okay, and so on and so forth. But can we actually taste the difference comparing like diet Coke and zero sugar Coke? Okay, maybe some of you will be able to taste the difference because they have a very sensitive palate. But most of the cases, yeah, when I did this training physically, most of the participants that actually couldn't taste the difference at all. All right, and this is also another marketing gimmick, all right, to just have more choice for you and to let you think about like what you choose actually shows who you are, okay? And the next cause of this choice overload, all right, that causes us not to make a wiser choice is about our cognitive limitation, all right? So according to this American psychologist, George Miller, all right, so he did a research in 1956, although it's quite a long time back, all right, but it's still like quite valid that our brain, all right, can take a statistical average, all right, on 7 items, all right. If it's things that are more than that, we definitely couldn't be able to handle that, all right. And lastly, more pressure to choose, all right. For example, if you were to go to a kiosk like McDonald's or maybe KFC, all right, I'm not sure how is it in Hong Kong. I've never been there before, all right. Hopefully I will be able to visit this nice city of yours one day. So in Malaysia, all right, so we have like these kiosks whereby we can choose our menu, and I believe in Hong Kong there is things like this as well. So there will be like people behind you that is like waiting in line and you are like feeling the pressure to choose because there's so many things you can choose, right? So in the end, all right, you just like quickly just make your choice and you just feel pressure, all right? So these are some of the reasons that we won't be able to make the better choice and we feel pressure, and till the very end of the day, we just feel like unsatisfied with whatever decision that we have made, okay? And the last factor, all right, that can prevent us from making a good decision is about decision fatigue, all right? So it's quite similar to the factor that I've mentioned just now on choice overload. So if you were to make a lot of decisions in one day, all right, your brain will be exhausted, and till the end of the day, you just feel like even something simple would just put on pressure on you, and you would just feel like it's so difficult, even though it's something very simple, like maybe what do you want to have for dinner, as you can see in the video, all right? So these are the 4 psychological factors that can prevent us from making a better decision, all right? So how do you usually make your decision? Okay, so those are the reasons that we can make a better decision, but how do you usually make your decision? All right, so over here I'm going to share with you a link. All right, you can do this at your free time. All right, okay, just let me copy the link and then just share with you at the chat box over here. All right, so yep, from this link, all right, it will show you about what kind of decision maker you are, right? So that's like personality tests that will tell you what you can do better and how it can help you with your career, all right? Since it's going to take a bit of time, so I'm not going to do this together with all of you because there's like some other activities at the end of our session, all right? So yeah, do have a look and explore, all right, on this survey, all right. So generally, all right, when we talk about how we make decision, usually there's like two ways, all right, generally. So it's either we use our intuition or we actually reason it, all right, with facts and figures, or sometimes we may even use both, all right. So these are generally how people make their decision. So just to go much more in depth about each of these way, all right, or the process. So for intuitive, it's about how you use your gut feeling, all right. So usually intuition, when you make a decision based on your intuition, is because of your past experience or your personal values, okay? And it's usually not based on reality, okay? Because it depends on your past experience, which is why sometimes things that work for you may not work for the others as well, all right? So it's really much about your emotional and also your past experiences when you talk about intuitive, all right, when you make your decisions. Next is about reasoning, okay? Some of us would like to use facts and figures, all right, maybe some articles. So previously I'm actually a scientist, all right? So everything that I do, I actually always like to go for facts, all right? I need evidence in certain things, okay? Sorry, just, okay, right. So when we use reasoning to make our decision, in other words, we actually ignore the emotional aspect to the decision, all right? Because we are just focusing on the facts and evidence, but we forget, okay, about our feeling on the choices, okay? So as I mentioned, that things that work for you may not actually work for the others because of everyone's personality, because of your belief, of your culture, all right? So at times, reasoning, all right, may not be the best, although they have all the facts, they do all the statistics, they do the analysis for you, but somehow, yeah, it may not be the best choice for you, all right? And the third way, all right, some people that may use like both intuitive and reasoning at the same time in making decision. All right, so what they do is that they usually start with a reason. They gather all the facts and figures, and then they use the intuition, their gut feeling, to think about like, how do you feel, all right? After seeing all this, it shows, I mean, with the facts and figures, it shows that maybe choice A is the best. But when you go through, all right, the process, you feel like, I don't think like option A is good for me, all right, I would like to choose option B, all right. So this is an example of like how certain people that will apply both intuitive and reasoning when making your decision. So when to use, all right, so now you know that, okay, we have intuition, we have reasoning, and we have like both. So when is the best time to use all these, all right? So generally, intuition is good to use when you want to listen to your own gut feeling, is when the decision that you need to make is very simple and it needs to be made quickly. And when it comes to something that is more complicated, it will be good, all right, to use both intuition and reasoning. Okay. And if you are interested, okay, in like going more in depth, all right, on this topic, this is a book by Rolf Dobelli on the art of thinking clearly. Okay, so in his book, he talked about how we can make a better decision. All right, so according to him, is that if the consequences, all right, are large, that means the risk is very high. So he will try to be reasonable and rational. So he will place much more on the reasoning part rather than on his own gut feeling. All right. But with something, all right, the consequences which is small, in other words, the risk is small, he will allow his intuition to take place. So for example, like if you see on the video, like which dress to wear or maybe where to eat, okay. But to certain people, maybe this plays an important factor to you. But generally, all right, these are something small, because if you choose this, if it doesn't work for you, then you can go on for the next time. Yeah. So as what Rob Doberly has mentioned in his book, is that thinking is actually very tiring. Yeah. So if something like that does not bring you harm, or the risk is very small, he suggested or recommend that we do not rack our brains or drain our brain energy. All right, because these risks and consequences are small, so if we actually make a mistake, it won't do lasting damage. All right, so this is according to Rob Doberly. Okay. So over here, I would like to share with you some of the strategies in making effective decision. All right, so we can make decision, but how we can make an effective, or in other words, a much more efficient decision. All right, so there are 7 steps over here. So for this strategy is usually recommended for when you need to make something that is very complex or very important decision. All right, but if like there's something small, all right, but you still want to make an efficient decision, then you can skip step 1 to step 4 and just go to step 5. All right, of course, sometimes when we have go through all these steps, we still unable to make the decision, then what we should do? So we have to go back to step 1 again. All right, so I'm going into each of the steps now. So the first step is that we need to investigate the situation in detail. Before you make your decision, you need to make sure what is the real problem, or in other words, you need to understand fully what is the situation looks like. All right, sometimes the things that we think is a problem or an issue may not be the real problem. All right, so over here, this article actually did recommend us to use these 2 methods. The first is about the 5 whys technique. Another one is about root cause analysis. All right, so this 5 why, all right, is something look really like how a kid would actually ask their parent, like why. So sometimes, okay, it may be quite frustrated, right? Because they have to answer so many questions, but in fact, sometimes it really helps you to find the root cause of the problem. All right, so I will give an example over here. Is about example like if you ran through a red light today. So why you ran through a red light? Because I'm late for work. Why you late for work? Because I woke up late. And why do you wake up late? And because the alarm didn't work. And why the alarm didn't work? Because it's the battery doesn't work. And finally, all right, sorry for the spelling mistake over there. You find the root cause is that you forgot to check it. All right, so that's actually the root cause, rather than like you ran through a red light. All right, so it's very important that you find what are the real problem, what are the real root cause. All right, that cause you the things. All right. Another tool that you can use is on this root cause analysis. All right, as I mentioned, for this is usually you can be used for when you are trying to make a complex decision. So first of all, you need to define the problem which you think is a problem, and then you gather all the information and data on this problem, and you identify what are the issues, all right, that contributed to this problem. After that, you will determine what are the root cause, and you will find what are the recommendation, and later on, you will find the solution. All right. So this is a root cause analysis step. So once you know what is the problem, all right, step number 2 is to create a constructive environment. All right. At times, when you encounter a problem, it's just not about you yourself, especially if you're at work or when you are having like some problems with the students. All right, so it's very important that you know, okay, when you want to make this decision, who will be involved in this. Okay, so usually decision can be complex, as you can see on my slide, when it involves other people, when the decision you make actually can affect other people. So it's very important that you have the right people to be in your team, all right, to discuss this problem and to share ideas with on what is the real problem, and you talk things out. So the second step is to create this constructive environment. The next step, you know the problem, you have the people, and now we need to generate solution, which is why making decisions sometimes is also about solving a problem. All right, generating like different options. I believe some of us also, like when we want to make a decision about like which university to go to, which job to take on, all right? We do, all right, generate a number of options before we decided on the thing that we want to do, all right? Although it may be very complicated, all right, at first, because there's so many options, right? As I mentioned, that too many choices is not a good thing as well. So, however, at this stage, it's very important that you generate a number of options or solutions to the problem, all right? And one tool that you can use for this is brainstorming, all right? I believe brainstorming is a term that everyone is familiarized with. However, sometimes if you were to be in a meeting, all right, you realize that brainstorming doesn't really help, okay? Actually, this term came from a guy called Alex Osborne, all right? So he used to work in an advertising company, and you know, like advertising, they will need like a lot of new ideas to capture like the consumer attention. So he was very unhappy about his team, and he come up with these rules, all right, in brainstorming. So here are the 5 rules. So the first rule is that do not judge yet, all right? Quite often when we throw in our ideas, we will start to talk about like, oh, that's very good. Or maybe you will think about like, I don't think this will work, all right? So rule number 1 for brainstorming is that you do not judge any of the ideas, all right, that your team members has provided, okay? Next thing, okay, you can see on the picture, all right? You can guess what's the word, yeah? So crazy is actually okay, all right? So crazy over here doesn't mean like mental health, okay, going like not in the right direction, but it's much more about like giving extraordinary ideas, all right? Sometimes it may sound wild or maybe doesn't seem to be like possible, but as I mentioned, the first rule is do not judge, all right? So with these crazy ideas, sometimes you will find like something new, all right, or something that is possible to solve your problem, or some new ideas that's coming up, because usually we will work on other people's ideas, all right? And at this stage, all right, so rule number 3 is that quantity is actually more important than the quality, all right? Imagine if you only have like 2 to 3 options, how will you be able to make a good decision, whereas there's still like lots more, yeah? So which is why the brainstorming rule number 3 is that to give more options, all right? Because for this stage right now is that quantity is more important than quality. And this is what I have mentioned about, all right? We build on other people's ideas, okay? So as you can see on the screen here, yeah, so this is actually a Louvre Museum in Paris, all right? So this Chinese American architect, all right, her name is I.M. Pei, all right? So she actually thought about this pyramid, all right? And she actually uses this idea to create, all right, this architecture or building, all right? So brainstorm rule number 4 is that to build on other people's ideas, okay? And finally, every person and every idea is equal, all right? So everyone should be open, all right? Don't be afraid. Although like one of the disadvantages of brainstorming is that the extrovert will usually control, all right, the whole meeting, because they are outspoken and they will just tell things, while the introverts, they will just keep quiet and just listen, while some, all right, that would just do not want to rock the boat, where they feel like their idea is so out of the things that other people have talked about. But in order to have an efficient brainstorming session, it's very important that everyone, all right, do contribute, all right? So because every person and every idea is equal. So just to recap, all right, the 5 rules for brainstorming. So you don't judge, all right? Encourage like wow and crazy ideas. And at this stage, quantity is more important than quality. And also can build on other people's ideas, all right? So that's like a build on idea on rule number 2. And lastly, everyone and every idea is actually equal, all right? So once, all right, you have all the options, now what you need to do is that you need to perform a risk analysis, all right, on the ideas or the solutions that your team has thought about. So over here, I will share with you like some tools that you can use, all right, in order to perform this risk analysis. The first is known as the star bursting method, all right. So for example, like if you want to sell skates, all right, in your store, all right, so you will use the 5 W's and 1 H to ask, okay. So in order to reduce the risk, then you have like the answer when things happen in this way or that way. And the next tool that I would like to introduce to you is on decision tree analysis, all right? So for this is that there's like 4 components in when you want to use this tool. The first is about what is the real problem, and the second one would be what are the possible solution, and then you will put in, all right? So for example, I mean the example that you are seeing at the screen right now is much more on money, all right? So they will talk about like how much it costs, all right? Is it like feasible? And then what are the net value in the end, all right? So we actually can use this, all right, not in monetary situation, all right? So we can also like analyze or give the risk or the chances, all right? If we choose this, what are the consequences? What are the risks? All right. So you can grade them as according to your understanding and also your team's understanding. Step number 5. All right. So you have the right team. You know what's the problem. You have the solution. You perform the risk analysis. And finally, you are now ready to choose your decision. All right. So when you do all this analysis, certainly you will see like what is the best for the team or for yourself, okay? So as I mentioned, this strategy is much more for when you're going to make a complex decision. But if you're going to make something that is like simple, you can just start from step number 5, all right? And step number 6, all right, is the step that we usually do not do, okay? It's about evaluate your plan again. Every time when we make a decision, we just go straight to the decision that we made, but very rarely, okay, that we actually take the time to think again on the decision that we made, all right? So this is very important to prevent any mistake from happening, okay, at the first place. And finally, once you have made the decision, so probably your team, okay, have made a decision, then you may want to communicate with your other peers, all right, that is not involved in the team, all right? And things, if they do not accept that, then you may want to go back to step 1, okay? All right, so these are some of the strategies that you can use in order to make a effective decision making. So over here, there are like some tools, all right, that you can use, all right? So just now about the strategies and also some tools for each of the steps. But over here, all right, just to let you know how our brain make decision, or maybe sometimes you just want to make something simple, all right? So here are some tools that you can use, all right? The first is about Sigmund Freud coin toss, all right? I believe all of us know how to toss the coin, all right? So according to him is that is the main focus on this method is about to think twice on your first impression, all right? Making decisions is always very exhausting, okay? And this method actually is quite reckless because you are just following, all right, whatever the coin tells you. And it may do a lot of harm if the decision that you have to make, all right, the risk is very high or the consequences is very big, all right? So on the Freud's method, all right, on this coin toss is that you will use the head or tail of the coin and you decide like the head is what, the tail is what, all right? As I mentioned, the main objective of this method is that think twice on your first impression, right? So you just flip the coin and it shows you like the head or the tail. You do not act first on the result, but in fact, you ask yourself, how do you feel, all right, on the result of the coin? Are you pleased? Are you disappointed? And usually after this, you will quite clear to know like what are the decisions that you actually want to make, all right? So this is for those who have difficulty in making like simple decision, like for example, like where to go for lunch, all right? You have like two options, like maybe either to fine dining or maybe just hawker store, all right? So if, like, let's say the tail, all right, is hawker store and the head is fine dining. When you take the coin, all right, it shows that it's fine dining. Then you ask yourself first, how do you feel? Do you want to go for fine dining? Usually your guts will tell you that, no, I don't want to go for fine dining. Then you already have the answer, all right? So this is usually used for something that is like very simple. Next, all right, is the Benjamin Franklin pros and cons, all right? I believe this method, most of us actually use it, right? We always like weigh the pros and cons. And we can use this method when we need to make a difficult decision. For example, like the car, or maybe like what Li Jing has mentioned, maybe want to buy a bike or not, okay? So you can use this Benjamin Franklin's pros and cons method to help you to make the decision. So the main thing about this method is that you will assess the importance of the pros and cons. I will show you how to do that. And also you will grade them based on the pros and cons that you have listed down. And then you will see which one actually give you the best. A lot of time we usually just think and we just think and just use our brain and to know, oh, this is better and this is not good, all right? It's always good that a better method, or I would say that to make it more organized on your thoughts, all right, would be to write it down, okay? So here is an example, all right? So let's say I got an offer, okay, a job in Seattle and also in Phoenix, all right? So I will list down, all right, the elements, okay, what is important to me? What are the things that I would like to consider, all right? So you would write down like working hours, the time to commute, the cost of living, salary, and da-da-da-da, and so on and so forth. And then you will put on, all right, put in the importance factor, how important it is to you from 1 to 10. So for example, over here, like working hours is very important to me. That's why I put it as 9. And then like salary, like, okay, not too bad, all right? So you will put the importance, how important it is according to your own gut feeling, all right, your own emotion. And after that, you will grade them, all right? So for example, like in Seattle, all right, the working hours, how it is to you, and then so on and so forth. And the next step is that you will multiply it. All right, so for example, like 9 times 7 is 63. And then 9 times 5 is 45. All right. And then you just do all these grading, multiplication, and to the end of the day, then you will get the total. So in your opinion, which one I should pick? The job in Seattle or the job in Phoenix? All right. I'm going to launch a poll on this. Yep, I believe you will see a small screen that pop up in your laptop. All right, you can choose, all right, according to this method. Which one should I pick, Seattle or Phoenix? Okay, all right. Any more? Okay. Yeah, don't worry about the right or wrong, yeah? I will let you know which one actually is the answer. All right, KK say Phoenix, all right. Anyone else more would like to participate? Okay, all right. I think you can see the results, right? A small screen that pop up in your screen, all right? That Seattle, okay, I mean, that's only like 5 of you all right? According to, and also with KK, all right? So it's like 3 against 3, all right? So what's the right answer, yeah? So the right answer is actually the job in Phoenix. All right. Why? Because you grade as according to how important it is. All right. So the higher total score it is, the better choice it is for you. All right. Because all this probability, all right, that you can see on my cursor right now is how important it is. All right. So that's why the higher the score it is the better choice for you. All right. So this is how Benjamin Franklin pros and cons work. All right. And the next thing, all right. So for Benjamin Franklin, we do take into account about your gut feeling when you make a decision. But for these two, all right, by Daniel Kahneman, all right, so he is still alive, right, and he is 89 years old now, and he's a Nobel laureate, right, in 2002. So he actually did a research, okay, on our brain system. It's very, very interesting, okay. So he actually came up with this mediating assessment protocol in helping us to make decisions that encourage, all right, delay but informed intuitive decision making. So for his case is that intuition comes later, all right. There's a reason about why, all right. So for this part, okay, the most important thing is about only using fact-based to assess, all right. As compared to Benjamin Franklin, you grade those elements based on your own emotion, all right, your intuition. And as I mentioned earlier on, that things that is or decision that you make that is good for you may not be good for the rest or maybe your peers, your friends, or your family. It's because of our past experience, our culture, our belief that actually can change, all right, on our decision making and where we were today, all right. So according to Daniel Kahneman, all right, this is a very interesting research that there's two brain systems. All right. We have brain system number 1 and also brain system number 2. All right. And most of the time, our brain is using number 1. All right. As you can see, all right, like 95% of the decision that we make, all right, is made by brain system number 1. So this brain system number 1 is usually very fast and it's our subconscious mind and it runs autopilot. Okay. So example that I would give like the path or the way that you usually drive to work. All right. Sometimes you may caught yourself. You are thinking about something, but you're still able, all right, to know the way to come to a certain place, like maybe to the university, the working place. All right. So that's because your brain system number 1 is working. All right. Whereas brain system number 2, all right, is always, as according to him, is a slave for brain system number 1. All right. And usually for brain system number 2, all right, so 5% of the decision making is actually made by brain system number 2. Why? Because it takes effort, it takes discipline, it takes self-control in order to use like brain system number 2. So when we are stressed or when we are tired, okay, our brain just automatically will depend back on brain system number 1. So in other words, most of our decision, all right, made, all right, is done by brain system number 1, probably is due to a survival mechanism. All right, imagine if all the decision that we make usually, daily, if we were to use like brain system number 2, where it takes control, where it need to take your effort, your focus, we will be so tired, right? So that's a reason why generally the decision that we make is based on brain system number 1, where it runs like autopilot, okay? And our brain, all right, also seek on patterns, or in other words, habit, all right? So if you were to do something as according, daily, all right, when you encounter something, your brain will just automatically help you to choose. So now you may start to think about like those decisions that you make. Is it like unconscious or is it like consciously? All right. You may start to question yourself on that. Okay. So let's see. All right. Let's just do some experiment together. Okay. Which brain system you use. All right. So a bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. So the bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? All right, definitely now when you look at this question, there's an answer that comes to your mind, yeah? So the next thing that I would like you to do, all right, you can scan this QR code, or I will just put this link at the chat box and let me know what's your answer, yeah? Don't worry, I mean, all the thoughts, your ideas, and answers that you share is anonymous, so I do not know who give what. All right, so just based on what you think at the first place, all right, because we're doing this experiment, right? So a bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? All right. So you can scan this QR code, or the link is at the chat box over there. You can just click on it, all right, and you will let me know what is the answer. Okay. So a lot of y'all mentioned about 10. Okay. Any more other answer? And all right. You also can put your answer at the chat box if you cannot manage to scan the QR code or to go to the link. All right, so more than 0.1 cent, okay. All right. Hi, Charlie. Nice to see you here. Okay, all right. So just to let you know how Dodo looks like. So this is how Dodo looks like if you join the session and you're not relaxing. Okay. All right. Okay. So I shall review the answers now. Okay, so for those who answer like 10 cents, okay, you are actually in fact using your brain system number 1. All right, so it's usually very fast, okay, and it's heuristic. That means it's not optimal, but it's sufficient, okay. But the correct answer actually in fact is 5 cents. All right, so if you put into much more effort, all right, and also to be more focused, where you really actually wrote down and then you try to do the math, all right, as according to this formula, all right, so it actually is 5 cents, all right, the ball. Okay, so for those who actually have 5 cents in your mind, all right, and this shows that you're using brain system number 2, where you will be more focused, all right, and then you will start to work on it. Just like example, like if I ask you like 2 plus 2, instantly you will tell me like 4, right? But if I ask you like 17 times 24, all right, you will start to take a piece of paper and then you start to multiply, or maybe nowadays you will just use a calculator, all right? But when you start to use all these materials, all right, it means that you are using brain system number 2, because it requires you to be more concentrate, more focused, all right, rather than just the fast one, all right? And later on, all right, because you are being exposed like to such questions, all right, so or maybe you find a way to understand this question more. So in the future, when you come across this question again, you may also work in a faster way, all right, which is known as a post-rigorous thinking, okay? But so as I mentioned, your brain will start to find a pattern, and it will start to use that pattern or maybe habit to help you with your daily decision, okay? So as according to Daniel Kahneman, all right, if you want to make a complex decision, all right, that is very important to you, all right, maybe like relocation or maybe changing a job. So the first thing that you need to do is really like to take out your gut feeling before you decided on the thing that you will really want to do. All right, so this is according to Daniel Kahneman because of our brain system. All right. So let's do another experiment. All right. If you see this, all right. Okay, so there's an empty letter, all right, after the O. Suddenly you already have some words in your mind, yeah? Okay. But if I show you this word, okay, and I give you this how to say this word to be completed, instantly your mind will think about soup. All right. If I show you shower, okay, and I show you this to complete or fill in the blanks, the thing that comes to your mind will be soap. All right. So this is actually how your brain system number one works in an autopilot way. As I mentioned, your brain will start to find a pattern because you know eat, all right? Then you think about soup. So this is why we don't always consciously control our thoughts and action, and it actually affects us in making a good decision. Of course, everyone can make a decision, but how we can actually make a good decision, all right, is to sometimes we need to delay and to slow down our thinking process, all right? And also, as I mentioned, your experience, your cultural, and also your belief sometimes will also affect you in making the decision. That's why it's good that you take a step back, all right, to think twice on the things that you have made, all right? So now we are starting to wondering, all right, maybe that all the decisions that we make, is it like true to whatever that we want, or maybe it's just a pattern or a habit, all right? So here are some tips, all right, for you. So generally, we can't control the outcomes, all right, but we can control the process. So in other words, that some of us, all right, we are afraid to make decisions because we do not know what are the consequences, what are the risks, and we are afraid of like making the wrong decision, all right? So just to share with you that there's no right or wrong, okay? As I mentioned, things that work for you may not work for the others, and things that work for the others may not work for you as well, yeah? So what we can do is that we can control the processes, and once we actually weigh the pros and cons, we take into our emotional, the gut feeling, we make the decision, at least we have no regrets to the end of the day, yeah? All right, so here are the 3 tips that I want to share with you. All right, so it's about 37%, okay? It's a rule to find the best according to the mathematician, okay? If those of you are very interested in like how they come up with this 37%, right, by those mathematicians. I'm not a mathematician, or I'm actually very bad in mathematics. So this is how the formula comes from, all right? So of course, this doesn't only applicable to finding the right person if you are still single, or right, or in a relationship, but it can also apply to like things when you wanted to make a decision on, like for example, if you want to find a house, all right? So according to this rule is that for the first 3 houses that you come across, all right, you will just have a look, but you will not choose the 3 houses that you have seen, but you will start to think, all right, the houses that you want to choose from after the 3 houses that you have seen, okay? So this is about the 37% rule, all right? Of course, this is just like how I've mentioned before, this is quite like fact-based, all right? And also like reasoning, all the analysis that they have done for you. But sometimes you need to listen to your own inner voice, all right? Maybe they will tell you like, oh, this is not, then you will know. It will actually guide you to make the decision that you would like to make, all right? Okay, so tip number 2, explore or exploit, all right? So explore is about trying something new, and exploit is a guarantee that you will do something that you already know. So let me give you a scenario, all right? If you are visiting a city that you know pretty well, all right? So for example, like some of us maybe have been to Hong Kong before, or maybe some of you have been to Malaysia before. So you know the city very well or the country very well. Will you go to a restaurant that you know is nice, or will you try something new? All right. So if you were to try something new, that means you are an explorer. If you will only go to the restaurant that you know is nice, so you are an exploiter. All right. So which one you will choose? All right. So let me launch the poll again. Okay. All right. So now you will see a little screen that pop up in your laptop. All right. You can choose. All right. So if you're visiting a city that you know pretty well, will you go to a restaurant that you know is nice, or will you try something new? All right.
呢一日我哋呢個 IR 就同VQ 我哋做嗰個gradation 啦。咁咧我哋想你出席嗰個 senior management 嗰個。
All right. So which one will you choose? Okay. Go to a restaurant that you know is nice, or you will try something new. All right. So try something new. Okay. Anyone else more? So far from my screen, I will share the results later, yeah? I'll give a couple more seconds, all right, and see if any one of you would like to vote. All right, I will just share this result with you, yeah? So most of you will try something new, while some will actually choose a restaurant that he or she know that is nice, okay? Well, as I mentioned, there's no right or wrong, yeah? In like when you're choosing something, because you're choosing something that you are comfortable with. But as according to this article or this person that share, okay, the tips on how to make a better decision is that, well, first of all, you need to think about like the value of information, all right, that is it worth to like explore something more, or maybe you will just go for something that you like, all right? So exploring is something like a baby, all right? So when you see like, I believe you have seen all the babies, they just like to explore the things around them. They just feel like so curious. But as compared, all right, to maybe the guy as shown in the picture, all right? So he know what he wants, what is best for him. So he decided to go on the things that he wants, all right? So according to this person or this article, if you were to be in a city that you know pretty well, he will suggest that you will go and explore something new, all right? Because it's okay, as compared to if you were to be in a new place, all right, it's not worth, all right, to go and research a lot of information or to find and to, how to say, to take more of your time, and also how to say, the time, and also to find the information, all right, while you can go and do something else. So according to him is that if you were to be in a new city, all right, then you will go for exploit, where you already know that restaurant is good for you, all right? So as you can see the poll result just now, some of you will choose something new, but as some of you will not choose something new. So it very back comes to what do you want and how comfortable you feel on the thing that you have chosen, all right? So this is about explore and exploit. And the third tip that comes from this person, all right, on an article, is that deciding what to keep, all right? So you will keep things that you most use, all right? So this actually applicable to like if you have a wardrobe full of clothes, all right, and it's time for spring cleaning, okay? So there's no way that you can consider all of the options. So what you need to do is that you need to keep those that is most used, all right? And this actually also can be applicable to your office, all right? If you already have like a lot of files and a lot of papers that you can't decide what to throw and what to keep. So this Yukio Noguchi, so he's a Japanese, all right? So he comes up with this filing system whereby you will put all the files at first on the left-hand side, all right, on a shelf or maybe in a box. And when you use the file, all right, then after that, you will put back to the box or maybe at the shelf on the very left-hand side, all right? So this will gradually make it a shift, all right? Because the more you use, all right, so the files in front, all right, you will go to the right-hand side and you will know that those files on your right-hand side are those files that you rarely use, all right? So this is how it works. But of course, I believe maybe you have something like this on your desk right now, which is also a kind of a filing system, all right? Because those that you use the most will be on the top, and those that you rarely use will be at the bottom, okay? So this is also another way, all right, if you would not want to use this Noguchi very organized filing system, all right? So here are the 3 tips, okay? So I will just continue, all right? So next, I would like to go into, or the very last topic is about making decision in a group, all right? So before I make a conclusion on this, all right, there's something that I would like all of us to do again, all right? So I'm going to play a song by Beatles. It's known as Yesterday, all right? So I would like you all to take note on how many times yesterday are being mentioned in the song. And after that, you will let me know what is your answer at this website. All right, okay. All right, so I will just play these. Okay. Sorry, just give me a second. That's a little glitch. Okay. Oh dear. Sorry, just a second, yeah? All right, okay. So I will also put the link at the chat box over here. All right, so you will let me know. Okay, I will play the song and we will listen to this together. All right, and you let me know how many times yesterday are being mentioned in the song. All right, are you ready? That's a little glitch. Sorry about that. All right, okay.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Mm-hmm. 'Cause yesterday, 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 yesterday,
All right. So how many times yesterday has been mentioned in the song? Okay, so you can put in your answer. All right. So the link is at the chat box, or you can scan this QR code. All right. Yeah, let me know what's the number. All right, of the yesterday being mentioning in the song. All right, KK mentioned 9. All right. How about the rest?
I must be right.
Let's see. I Lee Jing enjoying the song and forget to count. All right. So any of you would like to make your choice? Azim said, let's bygone be bygone. All right. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. All right, so at my screen right now, there's someone that actually mentioned 9, and KK also mentioned 9, and someone actually mentioned 12. All right, okay. So now, all right, as I mentioned, there's like individual activities and also like group activities. So I'm going to break into your respective breakout room and you can discuss, all right, how many times yesterday is being mentioned in the song. And once you are done, all right, you can use back the same QR code and let me know what's the answer after you discuss, all right, with your team members. Okay, just let me stop share for a while. All right, okay, so I'm going to break you into your respective room and you can think, all right, about what's the right answer for this. Okay. Okay, all right, so you can go to your respective room and you can discuss. Okay, so what is the correct answer for this? Do you want to stick to 9 or you have like other answer? All right. All right. Welcome back, everyone. So now, all right, with the link, okay, at the, all right, just let me copy and then. All right, so just a second, sorry about that. Sorry, this is the right link, yeah? So now you can click on the link and then you let me know, do you want to stick to your answer or you have like other answer after discuss with your team members? Or you can put at the chat box if you are unable to share, to click on the link. So did you change your answer after discussing with your team member or you stick with the answer that Li Jing Google it? All right. How about the other group? All right, so KK stick with his 9. All right. So Li Jing actually did his homework. All right, so from unknown to 9. Okay, good. How about the other team? Do you stick to your answer or you change? All right. Okay, since there's no answer from the other group, that is all right. Okay, I will conclude this later on, yeah, because there's another activity coming up. All right. Just let me share my screen again. Okay, the next thing that I would like you to do, all right. Okay, so this involves individual activity first before we go on to the group, all right? So you are lost at the desert, all right? So this is how the situation it is. So it's approximately 10 o'clock in mid-July, all right? And you have just crash landed in the desert in South America, all right? So your light twin engine plane contains the bodies of the pilot and the co-pilot, all right? And it's completely burned out with only the frame remaining and none of you is injured. However, the pilot was unable to notify anyone of your position before the crash. But he able to indicate, all right, that before the impact that you were 50 miles from a mining camp, which is the nearest known settlement, and approximately 65 miles off the course that was found in your flight plan. So the immediate area is quite flat, except for some of the cactus, and appears to be rather barren, all right? And the last weather report indicated that the temperature would reach 110 Fahrenheit, so that's about like 43 degrees Celsius, and which means the ground level would be higher, all right? So usually the ground would be higher than the air temperature during the day. So you were dressed in a lightweight clothing, short sleeve shirt, pants, socks, and a split shoes. Everyone has a handkerchief, and collectively you have 3 packs of cigarettes and a ballpoint pen. So before your plane caught fire, all right, so your group was able to save these 15 items listed on the salvage items page, all right? So your task right now is to rank this item according to their importance level. So starting with 1, which is very important, and 15 that is least important, all right? Just let me stop share for now. I'm going to share with you a document, all right? Sorry for the technical glitch over here. Just a second, yeah. Okay. So if you look at the chat box right now, okay, so there's a document over there, all right? So it will tell you the list of the item, so you can download it and work on that. So for now, all right. Oh, sorry, I need to share screen. Okay. All right. So you will see a document with this, Am I right? All right. However, if you're unable to download it, you can look at my screen right now, and then maybe you can write down, okay, the items. So you have a torch with 4 battery cells, a folding knife, an air map of the area, plastic raincoat, magnetic compass, first aid kit, a pistol, which is loaded, parachute, a bottle of 1,000 salt, all right, 2 liters of water per person, a book entitled Desert Animals That Can Be Eaten, sunglasses, 2 liters of 180 proof liquor, overcoat, and a cosmetic mirror. All right. So what I would like you to work on it now is on the column A. All right. So you will rank. All right. So number 1 means from 1 to 15. All right. So 1 means very important, and 15 will be the least important. Okay. So for now, you will rank. Okay, on this item, which one is very important to you? Okay. So you will have like 10 minutes to work on this. So approximately like 10:50. All right. Then we will gather back here. All right. And then we will go to the next step. All right. All right, it's 10:50. I hope that you managed to rank those items. All right, I know that it can be quite challenging. All right, so for the next step, all right, I'm going to put you into your respective breakout room and you will discuss with your team member or your partner. All right, so you and your team members or your partner is going to discuss on this column B. All right, so both of you will have the same ranking because you will be discussing and you will reason and you will talk about which should be the most important and so on and so forth. All right. So for this, I will give you like 15 minutes, 1-5. All right. So that will be 11:05. All right. So by 11:05, then we all will come back here and then I will also give you what are the correct answer. Okay, by those experts in this. All right. So for now, all right, you will discuss with your team member or your partner on which item, okay, would be important. All right. So I'm going to break you into your respective rooms. All right. So by 11:05, yeah, okay, then you will come back here again. All right. All right, no worries, Katie. Nice to meet you. Have a good weekend. Yep, hope to see you one day. All
So
right.
yeah.
I
So
guess
I had good
yes,
discussion
okay.
with Koo.
All
Okay.
right. Okay, good to know. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to review you the answer. All right. So what's the correct answer for this? Yeah, I'm going to share my screen. And I'll also like tell you what are the reasons behind this. All right. Oh, Li Jing share a file over here. All right, just a second. Oh, wow. All right. That's very efficient of you. Just let me share my screen. Yeah. All right. All right, so now you will have to put in the answer at the C column. All right, so according to the expert, all right, the most important thing, all right, among these 15 items is actually the cosmetic mirror. The reason why is because you will use this cosmetic mirror as a visual signaling to ask for help. Because in a desert, right, so it's going to be very sunny, there's sun, so with the sun, then probably you will like use a cosmetic mirror to reflect the light, all right, so that somebody, all right, can actually notice, all right, that all of you need help. Number 2 will be the overcoat, all right, so the reason for this is actually to give you the protection, because clothing helps to ration the sweat and also slow the evaporation. All right, so you won't get like dehydration quickly. And the third in line is actually the 2 liters of water. All right, so for drinking, so definitely everyone will be thirsty, of course. All right, and you need to hydrate yourself. And the 4th item is actually the torch with 4 battery cell. All right, so it's very important to be used at night. You know that desert, right? So there's like no street lamp. So you need actually light to help you to navigate, right? The 5th item will be the parachute. All right, so you can use it to build as a tent. And the 6th item would be the folding knife to cut the rope or the food and etc. 7 would be the plastic raincoat to collect the dew overnight, because we just have like 2 liters of water, so that's why we need to collect the dews, all right, in order for us to hydrate ourselves. Number 8 would be the pistol, all right, for defense, because we and also 3 shots from a gun is also recognized as a distress signal, so we can use that to ask for help as well. Number 9 would be sunglasses, all right, to protect our eyes from the glare. The 10th item will be the first aid kit, all right. So it's not considered very essential. I mean, at this moment, it's because everyone is safe at present. 11th item would be the magnetic compass, all right, since awaiting rescue, all right, so there's nothing much to use, all right, at the moment. Number 12 would be the air map of the area, all right, to have an idea on where is your present location. 13 would be the book, all right. Food is less important than water in a desert, all right. So digestion consumes water. And 14 would be the liquor, all right. So it's only useful as an antiseptic, all right. And lastly would be the bottle of 1000 salt tablets. Sorry for the spelling mistake, all right. You are in a desert, of course, you don't need salt, right? So here are the answer according to the expert and also the explanation, all right. So now, all right, what I would like you all to work on is actually to see what's your error and also the team error. So you will take C, all right, minus A, or whichever the number that is large, okay? So you don't get like minus figure, all right? So you just have column C minus column A, depending on which one is the largest number, all right? So most important is that you don't take the minus figure, all right? And for team error will be column C minus column B, all right? So you will work on your math, okay? And after that, you will total the score for your error and also your team, all right? So the lower the score it is, means that it's more efficient, all right? So when you are done, I would like you to let me know at the chat box, since it's just only 5 of us here now, right? You can let me know that does the team works better or you yourself individually works is better. All right. So which decision-making process is better, individual or the group? Okay. So you can let me know at the chat box later on, yeah? Sorry, Charlie, I see that you're not with the other team members, yeah. So KK mentioned equally bad, all right. So what's the score, KK? Will you mind to share? Like, yeah, you can just put like team, what's the score? Yeah.
I have to ask who to do the score because I didn't download the chart. I had a photo, made a photo of it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, one moment, still calculating manually.
No worries, no worries. Yeah, take your time, take your time.
My score is over 60. My judgment is different from the group standard answer. Perhaps each individual they have their preferences.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
Charlie. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah,
But
let's
Alicia,
just...
at this stage, I'm very thankful for your conducting the seminar because you use a lot of interactive tool. Sometimes you use a QR code, sometimes you use popping. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, because usually for online training, we tend to use like different tools to keep like engaged with the participants. So as I mentioned, yeah, I'm not sure if you're in the other
Our
meeting.
teacher, they are not up to that level. They are mainly just talk over the computer. That's it.
No
You
worries,
use a
no
lot of
worries.
different interactive tools. Very, very interactive, frankly speaking.
Thank you, thank you. But
if I use your concept in a classroom, our student will love it.
Yeah, there's also like
Is it common?
Li
Is it common in your college, or you are the only unique one?
No. I'm not the unique one. Actually, I'm also learning from the other lecturers, like Li Jing's school. So there's also another lecturer named Idora. Yeah, they are like the pioneers on all this. So I actually learn from them and to know what are the tools available. Yeah, Li Jing. Yeah, he's the one.
Very interactive, frankly speaking. Very engaging.
All right, thank
Very
you,
engaging.
thank you.
Yeah, that is good. That is a good demonstrate. You're a very good teacher. That
Thank you
our
so
teachers
much.
learn from you.
Oh, yeah, I can also have like Li Jing and also the team and Idora. Yeah, they can also like help to share. Yeah, all right. Okay, so
Okay,
Li
but I have to
Jing.
leave because I need to
Okay,
go
no
for
worries.
another meeting. Yeah.
Okay, no problem, Charlie.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much for
thanks
joining.
for
We
your
will talk in the next time. All
yeah,
right. Thank
thanks for your lecture
you.
and enlightening me.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Li Jing. A lot of research and experiment needed, especially. But to be honest, yeah, I really learned a lot from your team, Li Jing, like you and Idora, that I joined like I think last year we all don't have that. Was it last year or? Yeah, last year, I think you and
Last
Idora
year, I think,
actually shared.
end of last year.
So I actually, get the tips I learned. I adopt.
She's the expert. I'm the old school.
Oh, come on. I think you work as a team, right? So you can be a trainer as well, see? All
Hope
right.
so.
Okay, so Li Jing, your 74 is the team.
My error. Team error is
Oh.
72.
Oh, so which means team works better than individual in a way, yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah, just a slight difference. Okay, all right. So I actually got this from a TED Talk, all right. So it was shared by these two researchers that they work on like how efficient it is to make like group decision making. All right. So they also use this like yesterday's song, and then they also like first of all you do your part first, and after that you will share in a group, and you will know what's the right answer. So most of the time, the members, all right, or the participants, they change their answer after they discuss with it. All right, certainly, all right, as I mentioned, I also run this training with other participants before. And some actually mentioned that individuals are better result than the team. Okay, so it really depends on whom you have in your team. So in order to have this good collective decision making, right, according to these two researchers, all right, the point is that you need to have deliberation and also a diversity of opinions. So deliberation over here means that you have like a broad discussion and not that like everyone just think the same and just follow whatever it is. All right. And second factor that affect this good group decision making is the diversity of opinion. If let's say only one person is talking and like the rest is not like contributing, you will not be able to make a better decision making in a group. And you can also see this chart over here that when members in the group that are very confident in their opinion or they are having like extreme opinion, all right, usually a consensus can be achieved in a group and be able to make a good decision making, all right, as compared to if you have like members that are unsure about the opinion that they made. For example, like if let's say the song yesterday, I have one of the Beatles member in your group, certainly if he say like 9, definitely you will know that that's the right answer. But if you have someone like me, all right, who do not listen to this Beatles song and I just tell you like, well, I think maybe it's 7 or 8, okay? So if you have like more members like me in your group, it's very hard to make a consensus and also a good collective decision making, all right? So the key points over here in order to make, in order to have a better collective decision making is that you need broad options and also as well as how everyone gives their own opinion. All right. So this is about how it is from the research that they have done. All right. This is my very last slide. Okay. It's Friday and I believe all of you have your own agenda. And it's also like for KK to know that tomorrow is actually our UOW Malaysia, at the Glenmarie campus graduation. So Li Jing, probably you have your duty that you need to do as well. All right. So as a conclusion, all right, or take home message is that decision making is actually a skill. All right. As we mentioned, skill usually practice makes perfect. All right. So like how we understand the problem, how we brainstorm the ideas, evaluate the risk, and finally how you actually communicate the decision to the others. All right. So it can be improved. All right. So as you gain more experience on making decisions, so for example, like when you deal with students, like they're unable to hand in their submission. So the more you are being exposed, all right, to the same situation, you will gradually know how to handle it. All right. And there's also these tools that I have shared with you, like Benjamin Franklin and the Daniel Kahneman and also the coin toss. All right. So you will know like which one actually makes the best for you. And yeah, my very, very last slide, all right, I promise. So a quote to share with you for today is that no decision you make now is final. You have a lifetime ahead of you and fail often and we learn from our mistakes. Okay, all right, so that's all from me. Thank you very much for joining today's session.
So thank you very much, Alicia, for your great lectures to meet you.
Nice meeting you all.
Thank you, KK. Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining. And thanks, Li Jing.
Want to have lunch?
It's a great pleasure. Yeah, great pleasure. Okay.
Thank you very much.
So next week will be another one, right?
Yeah,
Next
it will be
week.
on applying, how to solve a problem. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Nice
Bye.
meeting all of you and bye.
Bye.